Literally go back and watch my past videos. They're all gonna start with, it's been a minute, so something along the lines. But anyways, as we all know, 2020 was not it, and therefore my content was not there. And since we were basically quarantined this whole year, I didn't really put on that much makeup. So I'm gonna try to give you my favorites, my top favorites of the year, when I did wear makeup. So let's just go ahead and get started, shall we? So let's go ahead and start off with primers. The two primers that I feel like I used the most in last year, first one being, which I do need to repurchase a new one because I'm completely out, is the Kylie Cosmetics face primer, and this is what it looks like. It's a super cute classic Kylie Cosmetics packaging, which I live for. I live for this tone of pink. Just love the way this looks on the skin, and when I put foundation on top, it looks amazing. It's not too oily, but again, it's not super mattifying where I feel like it really like sucks everything out of my face. So I really like this primer. And the other one that I was really enjoyed and I'm still using to this day is the e.l.f. Poreless Pretty Primer. This one works perfect for me and I love it for days that I do really want to fill in the pores. This is so good and affordable. So yeah. The first foundation I'm going to talk about is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. It looks like this. I have mine in the shade medium 6, and you can probably tell through the bottle. This is so dark. When I bought it, it was just a little bit dark, but it wasn't too extreme. But now this is so dark on me, I literally can't even use it anymore, which is a bummer. But I really love this foundation. I love the way this made my skin look, and I liked how it was a soft matte finish. So good. And then for days that I don't want to really wear any makeup, which is what I've been doing really, because again I have nowhere to go, nowhere to be, I will use the Perricone MD No Makeup Foundation Serum. I don't remember what shade I'm in, to be honest, because the shade I believe came on the box and I threw that away. But I did pick this up at Marshall's. You can pick this foundation up at Sephora and stuff. It is a little pricey, but if you look on the Marshall's website, you might be able to find this. It's really good. I love it. So I have two concealers to talk about today. The first being an oldie, but I just like rediscovered it and I just fell in love with it again. And this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I'm sure everyone knows what this concealer looks like. It's just a classic. And as you can tell, I'm basically almost out. And I just love this concealer. I'm in the shade 130 medium. Yeah, I just love it. It's not too heavy under the eyes. Blends perfectly. And I think this is my top concealer of all time, and I don't know if I can ever find better concealer than this, to be honest. I know that's a big statement, okay? But hear me out. My favorite concealer of last year was the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. Oh my god, I didn't even know how to describe this concealer, but it's just such an amazing concealer because it has such such good high coverage with such a lighter weight, and it doesn't look cakey into the eyes. I love this concealer and I recommend everyone to try it. And I'm in the shade Creme Brulee, and this is literally like my perfect shade, so I love that. Let's get into some powders. I have 3 to talk about today. The first one being kind of like for my overall face powder that I've been using for a really long time, the Kylie Cosmetics Translucent Setting Powder. I just absolutely love this powder, and before I used to rave about my Coty Airspun powder, but this has easily taken its place. I'm such a powder girl that I'm very picky with my powders, but this just smooths the pores like no other powder. I just absolutely love this, and I find that it doesn't make my foundation cakey or anything. It just smooths everything out without over drying my face, which I really like. But I will say, if you want something a little bit more affordable but kind of has the same effect, I would definitely recommend the Fit Me powder by Maybelline. It does the same thing. It really smooths out the skin, except that these Maybelline powders come in colors. I believe so do the Kylie ones, but I just tend to stick to translucent because it's just easier for me. Again, I struggle a lot with finding my shade when it comes to face products, so I just tend to stick to this one. It's just a lot easier. But if you like something that will do the same effect but also look like it will give you more coverage because of the color of the powder, definitely go with the Maybelline one. Again, big statement here, best powder for the under eyes, and I don't think I will ever pick up a different powder to set my under eyes. And it seems a little extra because, again, I'll either use this or this powder for my face, but I will not set my under eyes with those powders. Even though they're very smoothing, I feel for the under eyes they're just a little bit too heavy. So I need something smoothing but still so finely milled and so lightweight that it won't make my under eyes cakey, but will still not make my concealer crease. It's a lot to ask for. Again, I'm picky with my powders, and that is the Glossier Wowder powder. Y'all, let me put you on this powder if you haven't tried it yet. It's just so good. And this powder does come in different shades as well, but I just go with the lightest one, which is G11, G12, which is basically like a translucent one. So if you don't know which shade to get, I would definitely go with this one. So moving on with bronzer. This has been like my holy grail bronzer for years now, literally years. I had this one in my 2018. I went back and watched my video because I was like, I didn't want to repeat any products if I happen to love them still. But this is just one of the products that I have to include because I literally use this on a daily basis. Even if I don't have makeup on, sometimes I'll just put it on my face just to give me a little bit of warmth to the skin. And it's just so good. And that is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I did switch up the shade, I will say. I used to religiously use the shade bronzer, and now I'm using Sun Kiss bronzer, and it is just warmer than the bronzer one. My bronzer, definitely recommend. I've recommended this to so many people because it's just amazing. The other bronzer that I've been using so much is actually the Anastasia powder bronzer. Like, Anastasia always does it for me. The packaging, I absolutely love it. And the shade that I've been using is in the shade Rich Amber. This is what the back looks like. I absolutely love this powder, this bronzer. I think it's actually the bronzer that I have on today in conjunction with the butter bronzer. So I just always mix these two. These are my go-to everyday combos, are both of these, because this is a little bit warm. This is warmer. This has a little bit of red undertone. I don't know if you can tell, but I think it just complements my skin really well. And a little bit goes such a long way, and this bronzer is so blendable. It's amazing. I love it. Definitely recommend to everybody. I have two blushes to talk to you about today. The first one is going to be the Kylie blushes. I just fell in love with the Kylie blushes last year, and I just feel like I need to go buy more. I just love her formula and blushes. I think they're so pigmented, and I think her shades complement so many different skin tones. I say if you find a shade that you like in her blushes, just grab it because her formula will not disappoint. Her blushes are really pigmented, blendable, amazing. Love it. Another blush that I actually used a lot last year was the Alamar Colorete Blush Trio, and this is what it looks like. I just love these blushes. They're, again, really pigmented. They're like almost like a satin, which I really like, again, because it blends so much better on the skin. I know that she kind of rebranded her blushes and bronzers and stuff, so I believe she has different shades now, but I'm sure her formula is the same. Definitely would check out the Alamar Colorete Trios. So good. So I'm gonna talk about a highlighter. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I haven't used any like highlighter this year, because that'd be a lie. I don't support this brand or anything with this brand or brand owner does. But again, it's something that I have in my collection. If I have it, I'm gonna use it, and I only have literally like a handful of items from this company, so I'm just gonna quickly mention it. And one of the highlighters that I did use a lot throughout this year, unfortunately, was the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost in the shade Peach Goddess. The next highlight that I love, and I love to use on days that I'm really glam, is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. Can we just appreciate this packaging? It is so cute, and it's so, I don't even know how to explain these highlighters, to be honest. They're just so beautiful, and they look beautiful on the skin, especially if you wet your brush and you apply this. Chef's kiss. Oh, I should have covered this earlier, but I'm gonna do brow stuff really quick. So my Try and Chew been using literally over 10 years, it feels like, is the Anastasia De Brow Pomade. I have switched up the color to Ebony a couple years ago, I think, maybe a year ago, but it's still the same Anastasia De Brow Pomade. Are we surprised? Not really. But a brow product that I have discovered that I really enjoy when I don't want to do like really any brow and I don't want to whip out my pomade, because again, this is like a full brow. The pomade is what I have on today. I will use this Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel. So, and this is in the shade Diesel, and this is what it looks like. It's basically just a colored brow gel, but it is actually really pigmented. So what I will do is I will just brush this along my hairs and then clean up the bottom and top, and it looks like I have a natural brow, and that's saying a lot for someone who doesn't have a lot of brow. So I've been really enjoying this. I honestly don't really wear mascara that much because I just hate taking it off, and also every mascara I have tried in this entire world has smudged on me, so I just hate wearing mascara because it always smudges on me. But this year I'm happy to say that I found a mascara that doesn't smudge, and that is the Clinique Lash Power Mascara. And this is, I believe this is in the shade Dark Chocolate. Yes, kind of a typical wand. I can still put this on when I have no makeup and it won't smudge, so I love it. And it's kind of like a tubing mascara. This is labeled as a tubing mascara, but it kind of removes, it kind of comes off like a tubing mascara, I would say. The first palette I'm going to talk about, and I've actually had this palette for a while, but I found myself picking this up a lot. Alamar Cosmetics Reina de Caribe eyeshadow palette, and I picked this up early on in the year, but I just found myself using these neutral shades a lot, especially when I just wanted to do something super simple. Sometimes I would even just put this shade Coco Taxi in my crease and then put like Cafecito on my lower lash line, and that's what I would do. It's just such an easy palette to pick up because it's not very big, and it just is so convenient. You can fold it. Like, it's just an overall just an amazing palette. I did a whole video on this palette actually, but it is the Profusion Sienna's palette. As you can tell, mine is really beat up, but I just love this palette. It's so inexpensive. I actually don't know if you can still get this, but if you can, I will link it down below for you guys, because it's like $10 to $11, but it is so good, and it's such a good warm palette. I just find myself picking up this palette and I just want to do something quick, and I know the shadows are good and I don't have to worry about anything. This is the palette I go for, so definitely recommend that one. All we got left is some lip products. Hey, so we're gonna go in with some lip liners. So overall, I have really been loving the KKW lip liners. I've also been using some MAC and some LA Girl. But I'm gonna talk about 3 shades that I feel like I used the most last year. So the first one is the LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liner, and this is in the shade Cafe. As you can see, it's a beautiful like nude with a brown undertone. I just love this shade. This lip liner is so inexpensive and it's just amazing. You get great color payoff. It's really creamy. Just overall such a good liner, and they have such a good range of shades as well. You can probably find one that works perfect for you. The next one that I've been using a lot is MAC Strip Down, a classic lip liner. This is MAC Strip Down. As you can tell, I have a preference in my lip pencil colors. They're very similar. This one is a lot more brown, has a lot more brown to it. Again, MAC lip liners are so good. I feel like they last pretty good. Lip liners overall don't really last that long, but I think MAC has a pretty good lasting power for the most part. And then the last one is the KKW liner in Nude 1. I will say the only thing that I don't like about the KKW ones, and I find that the Kylie ones do this too, is they kind of do this. Once you sharpen them, they'll kind of come up and you kind of have to push them down a little bit, which is annoying, but it's fine. It's a good lip liner. So this is in the shade Nude 1. I look ridiculous because these are very similar. It might not seem like it on camera, but trust me, they are different. Don't all of us girls say that, but it's true. The bold lipsticks that I use the most, first one being the Anastasia matte lipstick in Staunch. I think that's how you say it. I don't really know how you pronounce that, but you guys can figure it out, because I don't know. But this is the Anastasia one. Focus. It's just such a pretty color. I love it. I know I'm bad at describing colors, but y'all see them. They're so pretty. The next lipstick is the MAC matte lipstick in Velvet Teddy. Such a classic. We all love Velvet Teddy. Again, very similar. This one's a little more pink. This one has a little more brown underneath, but just beautiful shades. And that's it on that. We're gonna talk about lip gloss really quick. So first one being the Kylie Cosmetics high glosses. I fell in love with these last year, and I just have been loving them and buying them nonstop because they're just so good. They give you such a glossy look without being sticky, and I love that. So if you like that kind of formula, definitely try out the Kylie high gloss. Is one of my favorites. These are just a couple shades that I have. I couldn't really pinpoint on one of my favorites because I honestly use them all. Next being the Fenty Beauty glosses. Of course, I absolutely love Fenty glosses. They're just so amazing. They're not sticky. They're almost hydrating, which is so crazy to find in a lip gloss. Fenty just does it to me. I have other shades, but the shade that I feel like I use the most is Fussy. I love it. I actually have another one, a backup, because I love the shade so much. And the last brown gloss that I want to mention is the Laura Geller Color Luster lip glosses. Specifically these Color Luster lip glosses, okay? But I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but they have such beautiful glitter shifts to it. I love it because you can't feel the glitter at all, but when you put it on, your lips just are sparkling. So I'm gonna swatch some of these for you so you guys can see the reflex. This was in the shade Bare Topaz. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has like a purple blue shift to it. The next one is in Gilded Honey. As you can see, it has a beautiful gold reflex. And this last shade is Rose Tourmaline. And as you can see, this one definitely has a lot more, it's a lot more opaque than the other ones. The other ones have more of a clear base, but this one is more opaque, but it has a beautiful purple shift, purple pink shift. Definitely recommend those glosses. Go to your Marshalls, okay? These ones I found in a 3-pack, and it was maybe less than $12, probably $10 for all these 3 lip glosses. They're full size, amazing, good price. They were brand new. And if you happen to run into Honey Caramel anywhere on the TV, infomercial, anywhere, girl, let me know, okay? Let me know. I will pay you to let me know. I'm crazy, but I've been looking for that shade for literally a year already and I can't find it anywhere. So yeah, that was my 2020 beauty favorites. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit the bell down below so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys hopefully really soon. Okay, bye.